Welcome. And the question today from Indian Boy 786 is, what is your I don't get paid enough for this poop moment? Hi, this is Derek. I just put the Drama Llama, Fred, back in his llama pen, so that I can do this quick video for you with some of the stuff that Fred found on Reddit earlier today. If this is your first time watching our videos, help me out by watching to the end, and then giving me some feedback in the comment area below. And if you want more of these videos daily, don't forget to like and subscribe, with notifications turned on for this channel. Oh boy, let's get ready for some drama. From the trailer park answered with, owner of a mobile home called and said they had a stinky yard. I could smell it when I pulled up. The mobile home was new and had only been set up for about 8 months. While setting it up, someone didn't tighten a no-hub band of the toilet in the kids' bathroom. 8 months the flush toilet was all over the ground, under the home, and had just started being noticed outside. I told the homeowner to call the guys that set it up to come fix it. I wasn't crawling under there. Oh god. And it must have been smelling long before it got that bad. I'm picturing them walking around their house for months, asking what is that smell? Plumber as well. Had to do a tie for a 6 inches waste stack main to offset it for a boiler to go in later at a hospital. Told all staff and had maintenance shut down bathrooms from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. for us to do the offsets. Had everything measured, cut and ready to move into place. Effin' staff on every floor ignored the signs because we got constant flushes of fresh poop and shredded toilet paper. At one point I was holding the outlet side of a horizontal piece with my hard hat and trying to no-hub band the fitting for it in place while poop literally rolled down my back and into my shirt, down my pants. My socks were soaked in the waist. Took us a total time of 45 minutes but scheduled a 2-hour window just in case. Worst part of this was that they had another bathroom option just down the hall. So inconsiderate. This trade sucks sometimes. Yes, we locked out, tagged out as many valves as possible, believed to shut down the stacks. This building was really 5 different buildings built in different eras and tied together. The maintenance didn't know enough to give us confirmation on which valves close which lines. We also discovered nearly 2 years later that multiple sections of the building were cross-supplied, meaning that water is able to flow into a line that it technically shouldn't be able to supply. It's not just as simple as locking a bathroom door. It's multiple bathrooms over 6 stories. And one of the floors happened to be a psych ward that has bathrooms that do not lock. And we were not permitted to enter. As an installer, you don't get to schedule this kind of poop when you want. Your supervisor tells you when it's going to happen and gives you a timeline to complete it. They coordinate with a GC who coordinates with the staff, and they determine what day, time, location is best. We barely get to weigh in on poorly engineered system designs without waiting weeks or months for decisions to be made. Isn't that a situation where you can call whoever hired you and say we're leaving until you get your staff in order? Or demand extra pay or something? Seems like they made the working environment a hazard for you. No one should have to have poop falling on them while working for hours. Apparently he was paid enough for that poop. I'm not made of such stern stuff. I'd have been out of there, charged the client for the time, and offered to come back if they positioned someone outside each of the toilets. Probably best that I'm not a plumber. Back when I did plumbing, went out to a job that required us to crawl into the crawl space of about a 200-year-old mill house. I opened up the crawl space and shined my light in there across the crawl space to see all the rafters and pipes just wrapped in snake skins and some snakes slithering away into the darkness. Nope, the F out of that one. I'd rather crawl to poop than snakes. What did people like that do, I wonder? Like, I can't imagine having a house with a bad plumbing issue but no one would touch it because of the thousands of snakes in there. Like, what are your options at that point? Burn it to the ground and move somewhere else. Change snakes to spiders and my butt would be changing professions. Was working with my uncle doing some repairs on a house when I was 16. We went under the house to route some duct and they had a busted sewage line running under the house. It had filled up an entire valley under the house. I saw it, backed out of there, and told my uncle I ain't touching this house until that's gone. We packed up, told the owners, and never came back. Scrivis answered with, I worked at Circuit City when I was 17. Heard a noise of packaging being opened in the movie section. Found a guy crouched down cutting open DVD boxes and stealing the discs. He looked at me, held his knife out and said, "Got a problem?" I just replied, "I don't get paid enough for this poop," and backed off. I went to the back room of the warehouse area to call a manager to tell them what happened. Never could get a hold of anyone, so I just chilled in the warehouse area for a half hour to decompress. The wise choice. Why get shanked over some WIF and megacore DVDs? Yeah, if you're held at knife or gunpoint, literally just give it over. It's likely they are just pussies that won't actually attack because they are cowards, but they have the weapon. And you don't. They are also nervous, so any movement can tip them over the edge. I did martial arts for years, and whenever I get the "if a guy's had a knife and ask for your wallet, what would you do?" Give them your wallet. It's not worth bleeding out in a gutter. I worked at a movie store in a mall when I was in my early 20s. I probably would have confronted the guy like an idiot. I had a dumb sense of duty back then, a mother F crusader. One time I chased a shoplifter out of the store down the mall until security was able to tackle them. He did try to steal like 1K plus of merch, but it was stupid. People get killed for less. You did the right thing. I had a friend who chased down someone stealing a PS3 while my friend worked at GameStop. My friend was fired the next day. Liability reasons. You don't chase down thieves, product can be replaced. You getting hurt or hurting someone else while working at a corporation can get the corporation in a lot more poop than replacing a console. Op absolutely did the right thing. This is totally true. Unfortunately, a lot of those smaller stores didn't have great training or loss prevention personnel to go over this stuff. And often people's instincts take over in those types of situations, which is what happened with me. I'll tell you one thing, when you work in a small store like a GameStop, which is similar to the store I worked in for 3 years, because the store is small, with a crew of like less than 10 people, you get very close to each other and the job becomes an extension of your social circle. With the store itself feeling somewhat personal, so you take shoplifters more personally than you would say working at a huge Walmart with 200 plus employees. It's weird, but you're totally 100% right. Never try to take a bullet for merchandise. It's just dumb, and in a lot of large corporations something you can get fired over. What if the first time they did it was the time they got stabbed/shot and died though? It's usually part of the mandatory training to not try anything during a robbery situation. Yeah, working for a small outfit feels like family, and the office like home. Especially when you spend like 60 hours a week there. I once drove to the shop at 3 a.m. with a baseball bat to stop a homeless dude from robbing us. The cameras texted me, I stopped him, and we have never been robbed since. When it used to happen weekly. I'm now part owner of that company, lol. Currently work in retail. One of my coworkers will regularly chase shoplifters out of the store, out of the parking lot, way beyond where cameras can see. Management won't do anything about it because he's stupid unstable. He'll probably burn the store down. Let it be noted that the corporation doesn't actually give a poop about you getting hurt. It's the legal or monetary repercussions. I worked retail until a year ago. I just know about, but I had a mate there who would always chase people when they were caught stealing, despite us all telling him not to. When he did it and I was there, I'd go with him. Not because I had any interest in getting the stuff back, but just in case something happened to him. You're darn right, they care more about liability than anything else. I worked for GameStop in the mid-1900s and they were pretty callous about the employees killed in a robbery in New Jersey, Irk, and elsewhere, focusing on liability more than anything. There was a lot of people demanding to have more hours scheduled, so there would be at least 2 people in the store at all times for security. And that was asking too much of corporate, apparently. One of my friends opened at her store by herself. 3 men with guns hogtied her up in the back of the store, put a gun to her head while they cleaned out every system from the store. They left her tied up on the ground until the closer came in and found her a few hours later. She was traumatized and pleaded to have more staffing so she wouldn't be alone while opening again. Corporate said no. She quit, and that turned my heart against the company, leading to my leaving later. That's nothing to do with liability and everything with them being cheap. The merchandise that is stolen is insured, meaning corporate doesn't lose lots of money from theft. A vigilante employee will put that insurance at risk and opens up a whole swarm of liabilities if it gets violent. What you described could be contrived as criminal negligence. And opens the store to its own host of liability problems for not providing a safe work environment. I'm sorry, if she were my daughter I'd call the local news and sue the poop out of corporate. Nobody deserves that kind of trauma. My department manager got caught stealing a box of DVDs. They held interviews for her position the next week. The shift lead they wanted to do it said no. The other shift leader who wanted it was a moron. Freshly 18-year-old me who interviews well. Told them what they wanted to hear, got the job. Was a great few months before they closed down. Got GTA 4 a week before it came out. I'd probably do the same thing. But there's definitely a piece of me that would momentarily think of absolutely losing my poop. And going ham on that guy just for making the threat at me. I also carry a knife daily, so I imagine it would become a knife fight. Lol. But the smart move is definitely just leave it alone and go report it. Don't let some psychopathic loser ruin your life. And finally, Light NSFW reacted with, yeah, I worry about things like this happening to me for the same reason. I have a bad tendency to get pissed when people are confrontational towards me. And disregard my own safety. Well, there you have it. A perfectly great question answered by a bunch of fine and honorable citizens. Help support this channel by smashing the like and subscribe buttons. And hit that silly little bell as well to ensure you get the latest videos as they come out. Fred is always finding stuff for me to post regularly. So this is Derek signing off. Thanks for watching. Good grief, it sounds like Fred is out of his pen again. I think he found more drama for me to share with you. See you soon.